start off today's Morning View talking about Jay Slater. The family of the missing teenager Jay Slater have shared what they hope is new CCTV footage of the 19-year-old. But Isla, you've had a bit of a run-in before with online sleuths and things like that. Tell me about what...
I mean, I'm a crime journalist and I started when I was 16, which was, 5 years ago. No, I'm 44 now, so quite a while. My goodness, the way things are covered have changed a lot. I covered the Nicola Bulley case when she went missing, and I've never seen anything like it where there was TikTokers on the location of what at that time was, possibly a crime scene. There's people videoing, things that they shouldn't be videoing when her body was eventually found and removed. And we are seeing that now, and this is exactly what's happening with this story of, this is a tragic story. There's a teenager currently missing who, we're on today. It was last Monday that he was last seen. We're at a point now where if he is still out in the wild, it's most likely that he will not be alive. However, the speculation online is unbelievable. He was part of a group of 8 that were convicted for an assault which involved a machete, an axe and a golf club on a 17-year-old. That happened in 2021. And this holiday that he was on was part of trying to bury his troubles of his past, allegedly. But then you can imagine what that's then inspiring. All sorts of stuff on. I mean, it's really disgusting, actually, some of the behaviour online. There was a lot of memes the other day with jokes about, well, the Scottish fans will make it home before Jay Slater's body does. It's really sickening. But the other thing is, as well, is his family rightly have raised money on a GoFundMe, to help to find him, to maybe help pay for, separate crews to help. I don't know everything what they're going to spend it on. And they're immediately under scrutiny, and the mother's having to justify, well, no, we're paying ourselves to be in Tenerife and look for our son. So it's just awful. But I've seen this CCTV. It is great.
So where was it? Where was he seen? And what was the timing? He
was away for a 3-day festival. I think it was the New Rave Generation Festival.
Right.
And on the final night, he stayed up partying all night when his friends went home. And he ended up getting in a car and going with 2 males to an Airbnb in a mountainous region.
Right.
And he actually Snapchatted himself. I mean, this is the good thing about youth these days. They take pictures of wherever they are.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, he went to a bus stop and he spoke to someone and asked when the next bus was. She tried to indicate that it was 10 o'clock and this was 8 in the morning. So she last saw him... He walked and then she passed him in a vehicle about 15, 20 minutes later. So he was walking, but the last point of contact that we have is he phoned his friend about 45 minutes later saying he was lost. He had 1% battery and he didn't have any water. And the concern is that he's gone up into mountains because this is where the phone pinged.
But doesn't know where he is.
What they can hold on to possibly is a sighting of the CCTV, which was about 10 hours later.
Oh, OK.
And I think it was 4 miles from the original site. Now, it wouldn't take you 10 hours to walk 4 miles. So it's very confusing. And there is speculation that if there could be other people involved, even his mother is suggesting that she thinks he's been taken against as well. I mean, who knows? He's a young man. He was walking. He had on a bag with his belongings.
Yeah.
All we can... I don't like speculating, but that's literally all we can do.
Yes.
He's not been found, that's all we know.
And actually, we need people to kind of keep out of the way a little bit while this is being sorted out.
There's TikTokers going out and looking for him, and while you might go, that's wonderful for people to volunteer, the police are saying, plean don't.
No.
Because they're going to, we know what happened to Dr. Mosley. These are extreme heats, and if you're not prepared and not ready... Interestingly, the search for Jay... They found a Scottish hiker, a 51-year-old who'd been missing since Friday. So they confirmed we found a Brit, but it's not him.
Wow.
So
and we hadn't heard about him being missing.
No, we know he was missing.
Crikey. Nick, I wonder what you make of the armchair detectives that are sitting at home online, or now, as Isla's saying, going to travel out there?
Well, Isla's was such a cogent recollection of what happened with that case, and we know police have confirmed that it got in the way of the Nicola Bulley case. These theories, some of which probably come from a good place, others I question. I think there's a degree of malice. It stops the investigators doing their job. Now, put yourself in the shoes of the parents. At least that terrible story happened in the UK, so you were able to understand what's going on. Obviously, you have the language barrier. You have a distraught mother, a distraught father, a distraught family, not being able to perhaps possibly get their points across. I read today that the father is now going around. He's had posters obviously translated into Spanish, so the dad is going around putting up posters. This, to me, would speak possibly they don't think the authorities are doing enough. We know, again, to Isla's point, we know because of various weird conspiracies, the hunters moved from this part of the island to that part of the island, to possibly it moved just when they were in the right area. It is hardly surprising that the level of frustration of those parents, I cannot imagine what it's like. And then factor in that you don't actually speak the local language. It is just nightmare heaped upon nightmare, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
They just need something, don't they? So fingers crossed we get some good news at some point.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.